One more here. Okay. All right. Good.
Here we go.
Yeah,
the man of the hour, man. How many years has this been? You're just step this way.
It's been, God, this thing's been
like 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years in the making. Yeah, I got brought into it to narrate.
Yes, that's right.
Was the initial thing.
Like the Bob Nalbandian stuff.
Yes,
you know,
yeah. And what's funny, I got brought in to narrate, and then, Jeff Young and I had connected.
That's right.
Kind of through this whole thing, and then he was actually helped. A friend of his loaned us his production facility to do a lot of the interviews with Bob Nalbandian.
Sure.
With Randy Kurtz, some of the other people.
Where's that facility at?
Over in Central Hollywood, like kind of, I think, Sunset and Vine-ish.
Okay.
Santa Monica and Vine, somewhere around that area.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that reconnected Jeff and I. That night we went to the Rainbow afterwards to have a bite to eat, and he started humming a riff that I remember he had from So Far So Good So What, that we were going to take into the studio, and then of course we never went into the studio to record what would have become Rust in Peace.
Right.
But that riff, this kind of cool odd time riff, that turned into us collaborating, writing some new material. A couple months later, he invited me out for the tribute to the Big Ford Ultimate Jam Night, and next thing you know, Kings of Thrashers.
There you go.
So there you go.
I watched it in real time through the Facebook posts and Instagram.
So thank you, Nick. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
man. Nick's continuing to create from the heavens
I
above.
know, and there's been so many highs and lows, with Megadeth and the various members.
Sure.
But your time with Nick, what are the highlights? What do you etch in your mind as?
Look, some personal ones, like when he first got in the band, I was getting sober, taking me out, we'd go mountain biking, right? Wow. We'd go to his house, he'd go to Gelson's and buy his orange roughy and make fish, and like that kind of stuff, right? So those are some personal moments that were awesome, priceless. On stage, we had great creative moments. He was funny. We made obviously some great music together. He was, we were a team back then. That lineup was a team. We all had
a game.
We all had different roles, but we were a team, and we had each other's back. If there was a problem, we would fix it. And it was great. That was a great band to be in during that period. And honestly, once Nick had left, the dynamic started to change quickly. And then it became not that anymore. You know what I mean? So that to me that's I think, and the audience knows it too. And I think that's why the audience loves that lineup, and that's why Nick will always be one of the favorite sons of heavy metal.
I know you tried to put it together at NAMM a few years ago and bring it back. And
I told
it's
Nick,
hard to put the genie back in the bottle.
I told Nick, I said, I saw him one day in the drum hall at NAMM, and we had connected, and it was very cool. And then I told him, I said, hey, listen, I don't know this for sure. I'm just kind of what I'm sensing, because I was in Megadeth at the time. I said, dude, you're going to get a call. It may not be tomorrow, it might be a year from now, but you're going to get a call. Something's going to kind of turn here. And sure enough, about a year later, I think I saw him again in NAMM at an autograph show, and I said, dude, your number's coming up. So I gave him an advance warning. I said, get ready. Now, I think, honestly, with Nick, he was a different physicality. Drummers take the hit first. Age, just
you got to be an athlete.
Joints, everything about it, right? Everything about it. So I think for Nick, and he was just in a different place. He wasn't the Nick Menza that we knew, the 25-year-old spry, Rust in Peace guy. Who would be? You're 50 now.
Yeah, it's like an NFL player trying to get back on the field.
So, but his heart was in it. It just, I think it was a challenge to kind of come all the way back around. And again, we tried, there was an initiative from management, hey, let's put this together. And I was the one who really put the logistical, pragmatic brakes on it. And I just said, Marty's off in a whole other world. He's been on his own. Does he even want to come back and do this again? Right? Nick, can he do this again because of just the years that had gone past? And so, you look at that, you go, look, if it can't be as good as what we did, the Rust in Peace live from the Palladium in 2010 when I went back to the band, if it can't be that good, then why ever revisit this again? Sometimes things are better left in infamy. And as we tried it, we remained friends from it, which is great. But it just wasn't meant to be as a business plan or even as a next musical chapter for any of us.
The music, the recordings, it's like a moment etched in time.
Yeah, right.
That will last forever.
Right.
But like I say, people change, they move, the body physically, mentally. It's hard to go back in time. But you know, I congratulate you in making this happen. Because I know, you know, Nick's story needed to be told.
It did need to be told, and look, Holly's a great director, so she gets certainly all the kudos for doing all the camera work, all that kind of stuff. I think probably, obviously, with my partnership coming in, you know, as with everything, hey, can you play bass? Next thing you know, I'm managing booking, I'm the accountant, you know what I mean? I do it, but that's just my nature. I've been like that for my bands from the beginning. Doing a film is no different than doing a band. You know, they gotta kind of keep it all together, keep it on track. You know, there's a lot of different, you know, producing are just a lot of little small decisions along the way that need to be made. But we're very much a team, and it's great. And honestly, tonight, to me, this is a present to Don and Rose Menza, who are Nick's family, right? His mom and dad. This is a gift to them, to just show them, not that they ever need to be told, because to them, he's not the Megadeth guy, he's their son, you know?
Of course.
But for us, from this tribe here, and from all of us in the music world, to say, hey, thank you for everything that you did for your son, that he did for us. Thank you for what you did for me, for all of us, and here's our gift back to you.
Fantastic.